Join me every Tuesday for fun and games and play for cash. That's right. Sylvia Mint, the fun word guessing game is back and you can come aboard and play. It's simple. Just email us your name and contact information and you are in there, baby. Yeah.
Hey, it is Tim McGiffin and Smooth Tim and Larry E here on another episode of Tim's Tidbits. How's everything doing, Larry?
We chilling, literally chilling here in Texas.
Yeah, I heard that's what was happening down there. What's up with that weather?
The weather ain't bad. It's just cold and then it's ice and then ice and rain don't mix. So it's pretty well cold and rain don't mix. So it just turned to straight ice and iced up everything.
Got some good Ohio weather down there for a change. We get that all the time. You learn how to drive in it, though, It just, snail's pace and just take it easy. But people, they still think they can drive the speed limit, and that doesn't happening.
Yeah, they'll learn after they get caught up in a ditch. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, spending a couple hours in a freezing car will teach you definitely a good lesson.
Hey, I'm going to get a shout out to the Jeep clubs. The Jeep clubs are riding around DFW pulling people out of ditch. Shout out to all y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, we'll give them a shout out. You darn right. Yeah, people in need, man. You be waiting on AAA for a damn long time.
But them Jeep people, they love it. They come up with that hinge, the winch, talking about a hinge, a winch, and just pull you out free of charge.
Isn't that a nice deal?
Yeah, we got some good people out there, bro. We still got them.
Amen. See, what are we going to talk about tonight, Larry? Oh, man, speaking of Dallas, I understand y'all got some monkey business going on down there. What's up with that zoo, man?
Boy. Ridiculous. I can't wait to talk about this one.
Okay, hang tight, man. Let's play the monkey business vid and then come back and chitty chat on this. This is funny, man.
File this under things I be saying tonight. 2 Emperor tamarin monkeys were missing and have now been found, located by the Dallas police. More details will be released tomorrow, but it caps a bizarre investigation. The Dallas Zoo announced the monkeys had vanished from their enclosure and there was clear evidence their habitat had been intentionally compromised. NBC's Morgan Chesky is in Dallas with the latest.
Good evening. An incredible update from the Dallas Zoo tonight, sharing the news so many people were waiting for, and that is that their beloved Emperor tamarins, Bella and Finn, have not only been located, but are after being reported missing and then believed to have been taken for about 6 hours. The 4th animal incident in about 2 weeks' time at the zoo, really the latest in a bizarre turn of events. Now, we're still awaiting details from Dallas police and the zoo, but the zoo says that both of those monkeys were located this evening, and we know that right now they will be inspected by veterinarians and then taken back to that habitat at the Dallas Zoo, where they believe someone took them somewhere, either in the early morning hours of Monday or Sunday night. And this caps off what has been a Wild few weeks for the zoo, dating back to January 13th. Leopard Nova was before being returned to her habitat. And we had the death of an endangered vulture that happened on January 21st. Because of those incidents, the zoo says yet early Monday morning, much to the horror of zoo staff, quote, compromise. Now, Dallas police have been working hand in hand.
We'll pop this thing out here, but can you believe that crap?
Man, that's an inside job, bro. Now, I'm from Texas. I've been to the Dallas Zoo.
There is still one man they released a photo of that police say they would like to speak to, but they are not calling him a suspect or person.
Hold on. We have to play that person of interest part. We have to play that part. That's hilarious.
No, go ahead. Because I just ended the video for us.
Okay, I'll stay here in Dallas. Okay, I stay here in Dallas. The Dallas Zoo is one of the worst zoos I've been to. Okay, and it's just real talk. That's just not me. That's a group of people saying it and thinking it. That's an inside job, bro. It's an inside job. Someone's letting these animals out purposely. That's the funny part about the monkeys, man. They found the monkeys in a house in South Oak Cliff.
In an abandoned house, Texas. Right?
In a house.
But so the zoo is kind of the zoo is in South Dallas also, right?
The zoo is right off of how can I say it? It's right in South Oak Cliff, right off of 30.
Okay, right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, South Oak Cliff 30. So they basically found the zoo 20. They basically 35 and something like that. They basically found the monkeys in some closet in the house somewhere in a neighborhood. So it's like, who put them there? They didn't just find themselves there. And why don't you put them somewhere close located to the zoo or whatever? So it's an obvious inside job. It's someone who evidently they don't like the zoo because it's terrible, or someone that cares about the animals and the zoo is not keeping them safe.
Trying to make a point.
Make a point. And they messing with, because I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna be honest about this. It's real. That's why you got me on the show. Black folks, we don't mess with monkeys, and we don't mess with how can I say it?
Now wait a minute. Mike had a monkey.
Mike who? Michael Jackson.
MJ, yeah, come on now.
No, they don't count. He don't count.
Wait.
I'm talking about real brothers and sisters from South Oak Cliff.
All right, don't mess with monkeys. Waco. Okay, you got me.
No, we don't get down with vultures, tigers, monkeys. We don't do that. So it's evidently, and if it was one of us that did it like a black person did it, they had to work at the zoo or they had to be in cahoots with someone else Caucasian. I don't even know Hispanic people that messes around with monkeys.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, but yeah.
I'm just throwing some racist stuff, some kind of racist stuff out there. I think it's funny. But it's a known fact. We don't get down like that. But the person of interest is like a skinny black dude eating Doritos. That's the funny part about it.
Yeah, but now wait a minute, because they had the white leopard that got out. Like somebody cut the cage to the white leopard cage, right?
That ain't not MO. We don't do that.
No, I didn't say that. But this happened at the zoo.
Throw it out.
And then they had the vulture that died, right? So I mean. Yeah, what?
So, we don't.
That's what I'm saying. Is somebody purposely doing all this? Would they have killed a vulture?
Tim, that's an inside job, man.
Okay.
And listen, if it is a brother doing it, I'm gonna die laughing. It'll be a first. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah, but you also have to realize that letting some of those animals out, and exotic animals like the monkeys, and they're from the jungle, right? They're used to 90, 100-degree weather, and you're putting them out there, and you just had what kind of weather in Dallas?
Ice.
So I mean, I'm just saying, there's a real chance the monkeys could just perish because of inclement weather. They're not used to that crap.
Man, the whole story is hilarious. It's not even sad. It's silly. It's hilarious because of the racial overtones involved. And like,
I didn't realize that they had some skinny black guy eating Doritos. That's
Bro,
it.
they got the pictures on Facebook, and if you pull up the Facebook post, everybody's dying, just making jokes about it. It's hilarious.
Guy munching.
Oh my God, bro! When they put their brother up there, I died laughing. I said, "What?" He eating a bag of Doritos with a hoodie on. I said, "Really? That ain't us. We don't monkeys, vultures, tigers. Now we'll mess with a cat. We'll mess with like maybe a parrot, and we'll mess with a ferret or something, or a gerbil if we mess with that. But a whole monkey."
You don't want to be chasing a monkey around anyhow, right?
Man, I'm talking about your zoo got to be bad. The animals are breaking out, but you got to understand. You put a zoo in the hood. What do you expect, man? That's hilarious. Look, well,
it hasn't always. Well, I've always wondered, and the same thing. They still have the, the Texas State Fair down there, and that neighborhood ain't the best either.
I mean, they put the worst stuff in the best stuff in worst neighborhoods down here. They gotta understand, man. I'm from this country. I'm from Marlin.
And I'm not trying to down South Dallas. I'm just saying it's pretty.
No, I'm telling you. I'm a country dude, or I'm a beach guy. The city part, I don't like the city because they don't take care of the city like they should. They cram all these people up in the city. They make all the money they can make out the city, and they just let it go. That's what I don't like, because they don't take pride in the city. Cities don't take pride in themselves like they did back in the day. So I'm not a city guy because I hate seeing all the negativity that's involved in the city. Okay, so I'm not a city guy. I'm let to be known, and you shouldn't put all your best stuff inside of an area that's not being well maintained.
I think a lot of it happened when they put that 2075 in there and cut part. You know what I'm saying? Sectioned all that off.
Yeah, they just making money. They just bleeding the city. They're not taking care of the infrastructure of it. They throwing any little highways, but if you're gonna throw a zoo up, you need to maintain that zoo. When you got your animals breaking out every week, like it's some kind of prison break or whatever, like a cartoon, it's cartoonish to me. It's hilarious.
I know that here in Toledo, where we're at right now, is they're noted for having one of the best zoos in the nation. They take excellent care of their animals.
Dallas Zoo is horrible. They got like horses painted as zebras. I'm like, they got llamas looking like, talking about a llama is a giraffe. They know a llama is not no giraffe. They got
hey, wait. And we also got, what's his name down there at the Columbus Zoo? What's his name? Jack Hanna? Was that the guy that has the TV show and shit?
Yeah.
Right, we got him too.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm like, when you
he's down at the Columbus Zoo, so yeah.
When you put something good in a bad neighborhood, now don't get me wrong, that neighborhood used to be good at one time, but you gotta understand, politics has completely dismantled that neighborhood and destroyed that neighborhood. Politics destroyed the neighborhood, but they just need to start. They don't even have cameras in the zoo, Tim. They can't even figure out who did. They don't have cameras in the zoo.
I don't know that necessarily, Larry. You sit there and say, I think what happens is, migration out into the burbs. People are more comfortable out in the burbs. You just said the same thing.
Yeah, no.
And I think that's what happens. You get a migration of people that decide to leave the city, and there's nobody maintaining these properties.
Okay, but no, well, they got the artistic people coming in, bringing in better restaurants, and they're slowly and surely taking over certain parts of that area that used to be mostly projects or single homes or whatever, long-lasting families. Now you got new businesses coming in. What do you call it? Gentrification?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's called? They come in and doing it. Yeah, gentrification. But
hopefully they also do some things with a little bit to South Dallas, take care of their zoo.
Yeah, they got to start spreading their money or allocating it to the other areas. The project managers, they're suck. They just allocating funds, not enough to certain areas. You need to at least put some cameras in the zoo so we can see what animals are breaking the animals out. This cartoonish to me is ridiculous. It's funny. It's embarrassing. But I'm not from Dallas. Ain't like I got a zoo in Marlin, so we got to.
That's right. You don't claim Dallas. Anyhow, hey, let's move on. I don't know if anybody caught this about the Florida mom who has a little porn site. It's like, and she gets upset because she's been banned from school. Hopefully this will play. This is crazy.
The reason that I even started with OnlyFans was because I didn't want a 9-to-5. I wanted to still be involved.
A Florida mom is suing Orange County Public Schools, saying they will not let her volunteer.
Well, she says the principal at her kid's school told her this after the school board learned that she is an OnlyFans model.
NBC6 anchor Shelly Muniz is in the studio. Sorry, Shelly.
Yeah, you guys, for those of you who don't know what is. It's a private platform where people, this mom, posts sexually explicit images. Her legal team is accusing the school board of being the morality police.
It's like, Mom, like, why can't you come in there and be around all of us? And it's like, yeah, I'm not allowed right now.
Tree says it's been a tough year and a half. She used to volunteer at her boys' school, Sand Lake Elementary. But then she said they banned her because of what she does for work. The 31-year-old is an OnlyFans model and posts sexually explicit images. These photos are from her public social media sites, but her OnlyFans account is private.
The reason that I even started with OnlyFans was because I didn't want a 9-to-5. I wanted to still be involved.
On Tuesday, she filed this lawsuit. She says the principal told her she could no longer be around children on school grounds and that those instructions came from the school board. She says she's also banned from being a volunteer.
I'm not a bad person. I'm doing my job in private.
Now her lawyers say she is suing in hopes of becoming a volunteer again. She's also accusing the school board of invasion of privacy and civil sexual cyber harassment, saying the school board sent her photos to staff, employees, and the media without her consent.
What she does in her off time is not but yet we have a morality police with the Orange County School Board and whatever administrators made this horrific decision.
Volunteer for 5 years, passed the background checks, and does not have a criminal record. But her attorney questions what this means for other parents.
They worked in the adult industry as a topless dancer. I was a male dancer. Are they prevented from seeing their children at school? Where does this stop?
I want to change. I don't want any parent at all to ever go through this. It's not, to me, it's just not fair at all.
Oh, yeah. What do you think about having a porn mom around your kids?
I didn't see no porn. I just saw her with tattoos.
Well, they didn't. Yeah, well, they didn't show the explicit pictures, Larry. This is.
I'm like, it's elementary, ain't like.
I was wondering. I kind of chuckled to myself when I seen this, and I understand that she's, it is kind of discriminatory, but I think it's probably more the moms.
It's very discriminatory, exactly, because those other moms probably.
Moms say, she ain't working the ice cream social. You wonder why everybody's going back for an extra dip of ice cream.
Yeah, those moms are probably out of shape, under attractive, and their husbands are probably like pulling it up and looking at it and like, oh, probably beating off to it or whatever. And then,
no, I thought something stupid like that too. I'm like, I wonder where this came from. When you have the school board, yeah.
It's a whole, it's a whole different. I say complex way of looking at it when you're beating off to porn and it's something that a woman you never gonna see compared to beating off to someone.
Running into her all the time in school.
No one's gonna see them. Was it Lauren Long something whatever? Or we know you begin to call it okay. It's just a female. I don't know, but this female you see on a daily basis. She comes in there, she sees the kids, she sees the principal. Then the man think, oh man, I already saw this and saw this. I might have a chance. And women thinking like, oh, not that bitch. No, And she passed all the background checks and like she's showing it to kids or whatever. I'm like, but at the end of the day, Tim, that's how people are.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, the same thing and we'll get into that a little bit later on about, what they call wokeness. I don't want this around my child and blah, blah, blah.
What child's going to pull it up? What are they even looking at? It's elementary.
Hey, man.
I'm saying, it's elementary, bro. I'm like, they just digging into how did they find out? How did they find out anyway? She was probably telling somebody and say, check out my...
Here we go back again. You were sitting there with your pants down to your ankles and your wife walked in and knew that. That's a girl that volunteers at school all the time.
Yeah, man. That's the girl next door. You can't beat up to the girl next door.
Yeah, that ain't right, man. That ain't right. Right.
You gotta beat up to Ching Ling that's over there overseas in Taiwan. The girl next door is too accessible.
Can't speak English, don't know your name. Okay.
You don't know your name. You never gonna see Ching Ling, but the girl next door, you can't beat up that, man. It's too accessible, man. That's too much of a problem.
Oh man. Hey, anyhow, let's keep on moving on, man. And otherwise, apparently, they've passed a new gun law that in Illinois, the governor signed, that severely restricts automatic weapons and law, those type of M16s and stuff. But apparently, it's not going over real well, especially to your law-abiding citizens. I don't know.
At Terrell, the case was removed from state court today and is now being transferred up to federal court. McHenry County State's Attorney Patrick Keneally is challenging the Illinois assault weapons ban this morning. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul making the request to remove the case from state court and send it to federal court. Keneally is asking for an emergency temporary restraining order blocking the law from taking effect in McHenry County. He's arguing that the new law banning assault weapons is unconstitutional. Meanwhile, there have been other legal challenges to the ban in recent days. Keneally after a brief court hearing this morning.
One of the problems with this bill is that it criminalizes vast swaths of the Illinois population, including many in McHenry County, and that's not legislation in furtherance of the public good or in furtherance of, of what we need here in Illinois. That seems to be highly political and also problematic. We believe that this has potential to violate both the Illinois as well as the federal Constitution, and I wouldn't be doing my job and upholding my oath of office if I didn't bring this lawsuit.
The law, which took effect this month, bans the sale of certain semi-automatic weapons. It also bans weapons with a variety of attachments and magazines capable of holding 15 or more rounds for handguns and 10 or more rounds for long guns. The Illinois Attorney General says he is prepared to defend the state law in court and says the law is an important tool in the fight to protect Illinois residents from gun violence. So now this case is going to end up in federal court and may get consolidated with other cases. The timeline on a resolution.
I'm not a gun guy, but what do you need with a semi-automatic weapon to defend your home, unless it's a Russian invasion or a Ukrainian invasion or whoever's being invaded? What do you need? A gun is a gun.
I have no idea why you would ever need a weapon like that in the first place. Truly, I really don't. I mean, I've been an avid hunter since my parents made me one since the day I could walk. And I mean, it was always, a 870 or something like that I could put, shoot double out buck, shoot a slug, kill anything. I didn't need more than 15 rounds. That's the other thing that gets me is why do you need more than 15 rounds in a weapon like that? Are you that shitty of a shot? Or how many people are you expecting to invade your home? I mean, I don't get it.
Tim, I'm just honestly speaking, it's be man to man and just be blunt about it. If you're defending your home, okay, you need how many bullets do you actually need to defend? If someone comes to your house, you fire one shot.
One.
What are they gonna do? Run.
Either run or die.
Run or die. No politics, no BS. Just man to man. Period. You just need one bullet. You don't need all that crap. Okay. So why are we selling them?
Well, there's the point. It's money, and that's where they're coming at it. Well, it's going to criminalize a lot of people in the Illinois, and it's like, no, what it'll criminalize is if you're selling, high capacity magazines over what they're saying. So sure, it would criminalize it, but it's not criminal. I don't like the language that they use. It's like, they tag it out there, but they're not really giving you the full verbiage.
Yeah, see, the crazy part about it is it's a semi-automatic weapon. How much money are you going to make selling it to a regular person? For one thing, they're very expensive. It's different you trying to sell them mass weapons of destruction to like a military force or a militia or some mercenaries or something like that. But a typical run-of-the-mill Joe like you and I, who can really afford to pay $2,000 or $3,000 for a gun like that? For what? Think about all the time you got to take to get it ready to make sure those guns jam a lot. Those guns are some the
what
worst
do? They
guns
smokestack? Is that what they do?
Huh?
They smokestack? Where the cartridge is just caught in the ejector?
Yeah, they jam a lot. When I was in the military, we had a thing called sports because our guns constantly, our M16A2s jammed constantly. Those guns jam. The safest, most reliable gun that you can have in your house is probably going to be a revolver, period. revolvers never jam.
You're right. They don't. Well, they could have a high primer, and you wouldn't. I mean, they can go wrong too. You know,
But
high primer keep it from rotating.
Yeah, they go wrong less. Okay, but they go wrong less than
They go wrong
Glocks,
less. You're right.
Yeah, I'm like revolvers. One bullet is all you need to put in somebody's ass, and they said whether you do a warning shot or a shotgun.
And
you get a shotgun.
That's the thing with those semi-automatics. You're right. If you have something that that jams up the ejection port, or if you have a squid load, one that just doesn't fire out.
Yeah,
you're screwed.
Rarely, but a shotgun or a revolver. But now, if you like a guns dealer, like maybe you have a range and people come shoot the guns, fire them off. I can understand you having a larger variety, assortment of guns.
Yeah, it might be kind of fun to shoot it.
Yeah, but we got to think about the gun violence.
I can't imagine how much it costs. What do you think those
guns cost? It costs some money. It costs at least $1,000 minimum.
And the bullets can't be cheap.
No, $1,000 minimum. And if you spend $1,000 on the gun and spend another $300-$400 on the bullet, you ain't gonna be out there just firing them hoes off.
I wouldn't think. That start costing a lot of money.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be out there just firing. I got hood. I said you ain't gonna be out there firing them hoes off like that. You're not gonna have to. You said I got hood because even the guys in the hood, they don't even when they get their gun, they ain't finna waste no bullets. No, why would you want to buy a gun like that, not shoot it? You got to shoot those guns and keep them clean regularly to make sure they operate properly. The worst gun to have in your house is a gun that you're not using but not practicing with, or a gun that's inactive.
It's drying up.
You got to shoot your gun.
You got to shoot your gun. Got to keep it oiled up.
Keep it oiled up. You got to keep your practice in. And we still have to go to the gun range. My wife has 2 guns. I'm going to take my daughter eventually so we can fire them off and get them ready, keep them, make sure they set in properly. But they're regular guns. You do not need those automatic weapons. Every time we have a mass shooting is always an automatic weapon involved. We don't need that.
You know what? And probably the most, one of the most dangerous weapons you can carry, because it penetrates bones and everything else, is a 22.
Talking about the little handgun?
The little handgun, little 22, man. Those are so dangerous. Huh? I mean,
you're not in the military.
But no. I mean, that's how little 22s are. What are they, like about the size of a dime?
Yeah.
And they go, I mean, they go right through bone, everything else. They're so small.
But you know what? A lot of guys buy those big guns just for show, just for their psyche, just thinking that I want to.
You don't need that big old thing.
I'm like, you don't, man. If you're not making money off your purchases, stop wasting money on your purchases. Guns don't deteriorate. I mean, they don't. The property value will continue to rise. Am I right? Deteriorate. That's what I'm trying to use. Not
I would think that
depreciate.
Yeah, I would think that you have more of a value gain than a depreciation. I would agree.
Yeah, so
but I don't need one in the first place, so I'll never know.
Yeah, well, that's stupid. But if you got to make a dollar, you got to make a dollar.
I guess. Hey, let's see what's going on with Trump. In his fraud investigations. I don't know. Larry, guy's always getting himself in something.
Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. We're going to begin tonight with a little secret I want to let you in on. You ready? Here it is. There is no one in this entire nation, including myself, who wants Donald Trump to be somehow rendered incapable of running for president again more than the upper echelons of the Republican Party. I mean, every single one of them, any of them who have any sense, is praying that someone else somewhere will make that happen. Now, it's certainly possible that a prosecutor might do that. That's something we've been focused on a lot. One of the many prosecutors currently investigating the ex-president could come forward, could indict Donald Trump, get a conviction, making it impossible for him to run again. Although I think it is genuinely an open question as to whether he could still win the nomination from behind literal bars. We've been covering these numerous criminal investigations, including, of course, the 2 Department of Justice inquiries into classified documents and the January 6th insurrection, the Fulton County District Attorney's case looking at election interference in Georgia, and the Manhattan District Attorney's newly reopened investigation into those hush money payments made to an adult film star during the 2016 campaign. The New York Times broke the news yesterday that prosecutors in that case are now presenting evidence to a grand jury. And the facts of that case are already well established because, someone already went to prison for that crime. Donald Trump's former lawyer and fixer, Michael Cohen, was sentenced to 3 years behind after pleading guilty to 8 federal criminal charges, including campaign finance violations. And he admitted to making those hush money payments just before the 2016 election at the direction of Donald Trump. Now, last year, the Manhattan DA's investigation also secured a guilty plea from another Trump associate, his chief financial officer, Alan Weisselberg. Earlier this month, Weisselberg was sentenced to 5 months in jail for committing multiple tax crimes, and Weisselberg cooperated with the investigation, testifying against Donald Trump's business. That business, the Trump org, was convicted of criminal tax fraud in December. Now, the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, has joined the Manhattan DA's criminal inquiry while also running a concurrent civil investigation into Trump and his business. In September, she filed suit against the ex-president, the Trump Organization, and 3 of his adult children, accusing them of committing, quote, staggering fraud. Today, the Attorney General's office released the video of Donald Trump's deposition in that case, where the ex-president invoked his Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination more than 400 times. If you're wondering how that went, it basically consisted of a lawyer reading off a laundry list of all of Trump's alleged wrongdoing while the ex-president refused to answer.
Now, I want to get into the meat and potatoes of it. Do you think it's like really the Republicans? It's like throwing him under the bus?
I plead the Fifth. I plead the Fifth.
Is that what you're going to do? Plead the Fifth.
Yeah, give me another question. I'm just
same answer. That's what he did. He sat there. He goes, "I'll take the Fifth." And they asked him the question. Same answer.
Listen, listen, whether you're indicted or not, the evidence is there. The crimes are committed is there. You people went to jail for you on 2 occasions, so it's proof that you did something wrong because people got convicted. Oh no, he didn't get convicted.
I think he put something out. He put something out on the hush money too. He said that that was a long time ago and it's past the statute of limitations and blah blah blah.
He paying hush money to somebody, but we still found out. So evidently he wasted his money, So
and you still got a pecker that looks like Toad.
Trump is like the biggest bullshitter in history. Tim, I swear to God, Trump is a mixture of you and I. I'm like, he's regular guys that just go through life, try to have fun, do the best things, enjoy being around, engaging with people, and he just bullshit his way into the presidency. He has more money, but Trump is a regular guy. Trump is the kind of guy that you can probably sit around with, have a drink with, shoot the shit with some real shit, say some real shit. It's the kind of guy he is.
He may have been at one time. I think that a lot of this has changed the man.
He just.
I still think he's a huge narcissist. It's all about him.
Listen, I like my things to be a certain way. I want certain things to be perfect too. I love myself to death. If you don't love yourself, who else is going to love you? That's why I say Trump is no different from any other person on this earth. He makes mistakes like any other person. He makes rich people mistakes, but then again, he made it to be a president as a big bullshitter, and then he put a lot of people into his mistakes. And he's basically throwing him on the bus. That's the problem. See, even though he's like you and I, because he's a guy, and I don't see him doing hush money. He paying hush money to a porn star. What would a guy do if he'd have messed around and messed with a female and got her pregnant when he's married? What are you going to try to do? Pay her off or try to do something to keep her quiet? What you going to try to do? What's a guy going to do if you go to work and you make a mistake and someone's working under you and you don't want to get in trouble, so you're going to say, hey, you need to fix that, or you going down. What about you? I'm the boss. He's like any typical guy that I've known, but he ended up being president, and then he's been exposed. Tax fraud. I know a lot of people that do fraud. I know a lot of people that do tax fraud, food stamp fraud. Fraud is fraud, it don't matter what kind it is. He's just a typical guy. He never should have been president. He's nothing special about Trump. It's nothing special about him.
Yeah, but I mean, is it right to sit there and just deny absolutely everything, just lie about it all?
Well, I've seen guys do the same thing. He's done plead the Fifth. Be dead wrong, straight up got caught, plead the Fifth. He's not doing anything different than any other person I know have ever done. He's not a President Barack Obama. He's not a Jimmy Carter. He's not a Ronald Reagan. He's not that special. He never should have been president. There's nothing about him that made him that he should have been president. There's nothing about him that makes him be nominated as president again. He's not. I ain't saying the word nobody. All I'm saying is presidents, they have certain levels and statures and
characteristics, certain characteristics that you expect out of these individuals also.
I'm a bullshitter. Okay, so if I ran it, I can bullshit shit out of you. So I'm a bullshitter. You know what I'm saying? So Trump is a bullshitter. That's what I'm saying. I can relate to Trump when it comes to certain aspects of things he's doing. It's just that he never should have been president. So hush money and pleading the fifth and fraud. I'm like that.
But he's already thrown he's thrown his hat in the ring again. And let's take a look at what some of the stuff he says he's going to run on.
And that's why people, and that's why people love him, because he's just a regular guy, nothing special about him. Okay.
Our public schools have been taken over by the radical left maniacs. Here is my plan to save American education, restore power to American parents. First, we will cut federal funding for any school or program pushing critical race theory, gender ideology, or other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto our children. We're not going to allow it to happen. Next, I will direct the Department of Justice and Education to open civil rights investigations into any school district that has engaged in race-based discrimination. That includes discrimination against Asian Americans. The Marxism being preached in our schools is also totally hostile to Judeo-Christian teachings, and in many ways it's resembling an established new religion. Can't let that happen. For this reason, my administration will aggressively pursue potential violations of the Establishment Clause and the Free Exercise Clause of the Constitution. That's very simple. Additionally, on day one, we will begin to find and remove the radical zealots and Marxists who have infiltrated the Federal Department of Education. And that also includes others, and you know who you are, because we're not going to allow anybody to hurt our children. Joe Biden has given these lunatics unchecked power. I will have them fired and escorted from the building, and I will tell Congress that any appropriations bill I sign must reaffirm the president's ability to remove defiant employees from the job. It's all about our children. I will veto the sinister effort to weaponize civics education. We will keep men out of women's sports, and we will create a new credentialing body that will be the gold standard anywhere in the world to certify teachers who embrace patriotic values, support our way of life, and understand that their job is not to indoctrinate children, but very simply to educate them.
There's his platform.
That's pretty good, but like I say, he's bullshitting. I'm like, can he do all that?
A couple of us a little bit overzealous. I mean, some of the points is, you don't need to be teaching some of the stuff that they may be teaching to a lower level elementary school. And but to sit there and say that, have the right to go in there and just yank the teacher out, they're going to use law enforcement to go in there and
he said he's going to escort people out the building when he finds
that could be a little bit that would be a little bit
see, that's why I say guy's like any other person I know. He's not special. He doesn't sound like a politician. His spiel sounds pretty nice. I like what he's talking about, because everybody's going to totally agree with what he's saying.
A lot of the points that he's saying, we don't need this and we don't need that. We don't need discrimination in school because of your race, creed, color, religion. 100%.
Well, the crazy part about it, why is it okay that we don't need it? We should not have had that a long time ago. Schools that don't want to teach the proper curriculum should not have a full funding. They should be fully funded. They should be fully funded across the board. And every school should get the opportunity to compete with other schools educationally and physically. It shouldn't just be one school got the best computers and school lunches and this other school got all this crap or whatever. But they're great in sports, but they're not great in sports, but they're smarter. So it should be kind of not an equal balance, because it never will be equal, but it should be allocation of funds for education somewhat close to equal.
Look how many times that we've talked about that particular subject based upon zip code. And a lot of people don't understand that, You know, when they're doing this census.
Census, yep.
How important of a role that plays in the federal funding, the state funding you're going to get for your schools and everything else.
Yeah, we got to be careful too, though, because a lot of the census don't always get done properly in every neighborhood. Every neighborhood doesn't get counted properly, and the funds still have to trickle down from the federal government to the local governments to all the sections, and you got a lot of thieves involved in that. So, a lot of times those funds just don't make it because they're stolen and appropriated by these officials that they elected to look out for them and be their voices. And the elected officials
misappropriate those funds.
Yeah, they just get appropriated.
Well,
they just
happens.
don't make it.
That does happen.
But he sounds like he went to our shows and took all of our topics and he read them off of teleprompter because he was reading the teleprompter when he did
stole the stuff. He goes, "What are they talking about?"
All our topics we talk about, he stole information, so we should run for president.
I'm thinking, Larry for president. L.E.
No. You run, and then because they probably assassinate.
Why? Wait. I'll just act crazy. They'll think I'm just crazy. I'll protect you, man. Here's how it is. You can be the president. I'll act a fool all the time.
I'll be the good guy coming in, yeah.
Right, and they'll say, "Don't kill Larry because Tim is just out of his goddamn."
I'm just gonna plead the fifth. I'm gonna go Trump on him. I'm like, it's bad when your own party don't want you to run. I'm like, Republicans like, nah, get him out of here. But
I have to believe that there may be just a bit to that.
It's a scam. It's some kind of smoke screen. They bullshitting us.
But and
he's doing that. He's doing that to get out of Democratic votes, and then it's gonna go back to the Republican side. It's all crap. It's all.
What's his opposition? DeSantis, right? The Florida governor.
Yeah. So what is he? Republican or Democrat?
He's Republican.
I don't know.
Yeah, Trump calls him what? DeSantimonious or something. He's got a name for him.
He already messed with President Barack Obama, and was he Puerto Rican? Santos? What is he? Is he Florida Cuban?
Who's that?
The Cubans don't play that.
DeSantis?
Yes, he's Cuban.
I don't know. He doesn't look. He may be because he's with his dark hair, dark eyes. He's got I don't know. He may be. Yeah, who knows? I mean, we all are in some way, right?
Yeah, but them Cubans, they'll cut you. And
I told you, man. Wait.
Yeah,
say hello to my little friend. Yeah, I watched that movie too. Yeah, don't mess with Cubans. I agree.
Ooh, don't mess with anybody, but you mess with Cubans. They got money. A lot of people don't know Cubans have money.
It's from all that gambling casinos that they left over there, right?
They got bread, so I know that. Bread. So you mess with you mess with broke people. You don't mess with people with money.
Speaking of money
will get you people with money will get you killed, and they won't even do it themselves. So
because speaking
broke
of money,
dude got to get you himself. Yeah, broke dude got to get you yourself. But people with money, they'll send somebody. That's when you got some bread. Go, I want you to kill somebody for me. Don't worry about it. I got you. If you get caught, I'm gonna take care of your whole family.
I ain't gonna trust that one. Anyhow, speaking of money, you brought the subject up. We're going to move on to, they're sending some Abrams tanks to Ukraine, U.S., and I guess Germany's putting some of their Tiger tanks and some other stuff. But I was curious, and I don't know how many tanks we're sending them, but I wondered what the cost of an Abrams tank was. And we're going to play a video of this thing. $10 million per tank.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
That's why eggs cost $10.
That's why eggs cost so much. These freaking tanks, man. Come on.
The M1 Abrams has struck fear in the hearts of enemy combatants on battlefields around the world. Here's how this mammoth machine gained its reputation as the world's best tank. The M1 Abrams was initially introduced in 1980, named after General Creighton Abrams, a prominent commander of military operations during the Vietnam War. The M1 was created to give its users unparalleled level of dominance on the field. It has main guns that can shoot projectiles up to 4.7 inches in size, extremely rigid armor fitted with extra layers of steel and depleted uranium, and Caterpillar tracks powered by gas turbine engines. The M1 Abrams is not only a platform of destruction, but also one of technological innovation. It went on to see two subsequent iterations, the M1A1 and the M1A2. Each iteration was heavier and slower, but also fitted with far more powerful armaments and advanced technology. All three designs still continue to see use in theaters of war around the world today.
That thing's a beast.
Yeah, but you get to mess around and get an airplane with some missiles that blow those things clean off the ground. Come on.
Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, because basically all the tanks they made in the military when I was in were named after generals. So the M1, that was one of the tanks that they made. And a lot of guys I was in the military with, we fueled them. See, I didn't drive them. I was a little bit smart. They'll drive up after doing their little field duties, blasting cannons all day or whatever, and then we'll fill them up with fuel and we'll send them all out there and fight. But I've seen all of them, but I'm not impressed by them because if you get a nice helicopter or some jets to come in, they'll blow those things completely off the ground. I'm like,
excuse me.
Those are good if you got some guys that's running around on their feet on the ground shooting M16A2s at you. But if you really want to be effective, you can't have your ground forces will be taken care of with the air forces. So I'm not really impressed by it.
Right. I think everything would have to be, I don't think it would be a vehicle that you'd want right out in the open, even though it does have extra armament. Because as you say, besides the fighters, they got drones nowadays that,
You blow the tracks off of them, they won't go anywhere.
Because, the only thing that drives them is that back gear, it looked like, yes?
Yeah. It's just like any vehicle. You get rid of the wheels or whatever moves them,
they're
done.
Dead in the water.
Dead in the water. So $10 million for what? Those things.
That's a very expensive toy.
You know what they are? If you playing chess, all that is a pawn. That's how powerful it is. It's just a pawn, and a pawn I think is the most you have, the easiest one to capture is a pawn. It only has one move or whatever. Those tanks only have one move. That's it. You go forward or backwards. You can't turn the move to the side real fast or nothing. No, one move.
They've employed, they're good, like you say, when you're invading and you need cover and you need to create, that type of a entry force onto the opposing enemy, to gain ground. I can understand.
Small militias, but big wartime situations, they're not super accurate. They didn't say that you can shoot the projectile where it automatically is a heat-seeking missile or rocket.
That does come in there. And I think the range was 4 miles.
Yeah, but if you get up close to it and throw a grenade inside of it or get up close to it and disable the tracks, it's over. So
they've got all those things they shoot out now that's got all that, I don't even know that they need to laser tag stuff anymore. I think that's probably old technology.
I think those tanks are only good if you're fighting against a small ground force, and that's pretty much it. Or you blasting something from a distance. But airstrike can demobilize those tanks easily. So, and they can't shoot anything out the air, really.
I'll tell you, I'm more impressed with those drones. I think those things are super cool.
No, drones are deadly. Drones, and think about it, if they can make smaller tanks, they're more mobile, they can do more stuff, it's different. But
you can fly them at lower altitudes, almost virtually undetectable. You'd think that they could.
You can't even run those tanks in water, man. $10 million?
I doubt they're not submersible.
No, if I spend $10 million on a vehicle, I want to be able to do everything with my vehicle.
That should be an aqua tank. What they call them, an aqua tank.
We get a flying car.
Turn into a submarine and shit.
Yeah, then I'll be impressed. But come on,
now that's impressive for $10 million. That's cool.
You think so? I don't like it.
Well, if it I said if it turned into a freaking submarine too, that would.
That'd be
then it'd be like that's worth $10 million. That's really cool. Drive into the water and just some new sci-fi shit.
Go to the water, shoot on the water. Yeah.
Hey, they may be working on it. Now, just wait for a couple of weeks. It'll be on somebody's show.
Would it be cool, like if the Batman vehicle, like if the tank was a tank, then you can detach something out of it and then use it to ride around and then put it back in there.
Oh, like Batman does with his motorcycle and Batwing and shit.
That'll be cool. That'll be cool. That you can still sit there and bring a vehicle out the back of it, drive the vehicle, and still have somebody inside the tank firing, blue, blue, blue. The other vehicles driving around, bah, 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 knocking the small stuff off, and then put it back together, bam.
That'd be badass.
That's what we need. I'll be impressed by that. But other than that, nah, it's stupid. $10 million tank.
But anyhow, I don't know how many of them were sending. I should have looked that number up, but I was just kind of, because I know they didn't mention it in the little video clip about the tank. Of course, they're not going to tell you. Yeah, 10 million a waste plus. Of
money. They still. How close we are to ending the
Ukraine war?
Yeah, what we got?
You know, you hear all the. I think that Putin will just keep fighting until he hopes to exhaust. If he keeps this, he may have the mentality of like that if I keep screwing with your supply lines, if I can keep your people starving, if they're, if they can't get food, they can't get heat.
They'll just give up.
They're just going to give up. Mm-hmm. That'd be my thought line of how he's trying to play this out. Because, I mean, what's he screwing with? Infrastructure, supply lines. So, hey.
Yeah, that's it. Just blowing up stuff. You got to rebuild eventually.
So, I mean, and what do you see on TV? They're hungry. They're cold. I imagine their spirits are, I mean, what's it been? Over a year now. So, shit, I get tired of being hungry and cold and people shelling me nightly. After a year, give me a frickin' break.
Yeah, they got to do something. So hopefully, but sending them tanks is not going. It's just going to continue the war, keep it moving.
I think it's just going to keep it going for a while. I mean, hopefully,
find a way to end it.
We'll find a way to end it.
Fuel it.
Anyhow, hey, let's get on to Larry's favorite part of the show. We're going to see who is our asshole of the week. Hey, let me get the award up. Asshole award. Here we are. And I don't know that we've had this gentleman on before.
Okay, this should be good then. We get a new one.
It's always good. I mean, come on, man. That's
all of them
being
good.
An asshole is. But this gentleman said he was going to. Let me play this first, and then we'll talk about him.
Just forget about the evidence. What are you hiding? Hey, will you guys finally look at this evidence? Would you get inside a Dominion machine, everybody? Right there, keep going down. Stop. Inside the machine. This is real-time crime. You can't deny it. I don't know if you can see this, but there's stars and stripes on here. Or stripes, I guess. Those are our machines, and we demand to look inside and get rid of them. Melt them down and use them for prison bars, like I said. You talk about evidence. We had enough evidence to put everybody in prison for life, 300 million people.
You talking about the election?
He's that's what him, Lindell's will never give up that the election was rigged and that the machines were wrong. But anyhow, he made a run for the RNC chair, Republican National Convention chair, just the other day.
Did he win?
He said he was going to win, and he told everybody he was winning. He was on a couple of the different shows, on the cable channels, the Newsmax and those kind of stations, saying he was going to kick everybody's butt. But anyhow, out of 167 votes cast, he got 4 votes. With 111 going to Ronna McDaniel, who is apparently now the new RNC chair.
I guess he ran for it. They must have moved.
He ran for it, but apparently maybe that election was rigged.
Man, maybe his whole life was rigged.
Hey, you know what I always thought? Here's why I think he's an asshole also. If you watch his ads, he's all America, pro-America. But if you look at the ads, where is he getting his cotton from? Egypt.
Oh, he's one of those.
No, if you're so damn pro-America, what's wrong with our cotton down south? Down in the Carolinas, they still grow cotton.
Maybe I don't like the history of the cotton down south. Maybe.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, he's just woke.
I don't want no black cotton. I don't want no cotton that black people ancestors don't put their hands on. Give me some Egypt cotton.
I just cannot believe this guy. And and I don't know how he gets to play, why the Republicans, some of these news channels embrace him. Maybe because he's just an idiot. He is an asshole.
They doing it to try to get views and try to get hits, so they can. That's all they're trying to do, to get views. It ain't nothing but another TikTok. News stations ain't nothing but a TikTok that's put on television constantly. They trying to find the most controversial topics and people they can put on there just to get ratings.
Just to get viewers and ratings. And you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on late night the other night, and they had him inside a claw machine. You know, that you reach down and that's how they interviewed him. And his perception was that they wanted him in that because he had refused to get the inoculation, you know, and so to protect everybody, they wanted him inside the claw machine. And he's like,
commercial.
And he's like, okay, that sounds like a good idea, so I won't infect everybody. You can put me in that claw.
So stupid. He's so commercial. That's just how it is.
That is exactly right. How desperate he is for any type of FaceTime on TV. He will put himself at that level. I mean, come on, that's humiliating.
We need a real deal president and politicians. We need real deal presidents and politicians to move our country forward. Not these commercial play game type guys. Just getting ahead from the interns and all that other crap and squeezing women booties and all that. You know, we need somebody that's going to go in and do their job and stay focused.
But it's
too much controversy.
But if you listen to that one, hey, wait, who was that? That Billy guy that he did that? Yeah, Trump was doing the interview with. Well, you know, you can grab their vagina and they don't even care.
Come on, man. That's typical guy stuff, man.
Yeah, but I mean, he was being recorded.
Yeah,
I mean, that's where Trump loses it. Sometimes his mouth overrides his brains.
He forgets that he's no longer one of us, whether he's rich or not. He's no longer.
Yeah, you gotta keep it inside your mouth. Some stuff you keep inside your mouth, right?
Special, man. Yeah, he's just not special. He doesn't deserve it. The other guy doesn't deserve it either because he's an asshole, and I'm pretty sure he's a racist prick. So.
Well, you know, yeah. Hopefully somebody will come along. You know. Let's get on the happier stuff, you know, Larry. Fitness tip, please.
Right. Hey, this is Larry Estelle from LRE Fitness Solutions. You can check me out on Facebook at LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving. Also on Instagram, LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving. And on Facebook, Estelle Junior Larry. Instagram, Estelle Junior Larry. Type in Fitness Solutions, I'll pop up. I got a good tip for y'all this week. My tips are simple, cut and dry. It's not too complicated. I don't try to make it too hard for you, but this is the tip. Exercise hard, reward yourself. All right. Just don't beat your body up, beat your mind up, because you want to lose weight and build muscle and get toned and then have more endurance. Don't just beat your body and mind up. Sometimes you got to just take a break and reward yourself. Do it by maybe having a light beer or maybe going to see a movie. Have your day where you kind of pig out and you go against your diet or whatever. But never, ever, ever overtrain to meet a goal because you're going to burn yourself out. You're not going to love yourself in the end because you always have to take care of yourself when you're taking care of yourself. Get it? Take care of yourself. Reward yourself when you take care of yourself by getting in better shape, getting in better condition, and when you're exercising. That's my tip. LRE Fitness Solutions. We keep you moving. Instagram and Facebook. Holla at me, Tim.
I'm just saying, I like that. That is an excellent tip. You know, hey, as I like to throw out quotes, when a defining moment comes along, you can do one of two things, Larry. You can define the moment or let that moment define you. And act like what you do makes a difference, because it does. And when the storm comes in, this is Queen's favorite. Queen says this all the time. When the storm comes, don't run for shelter. Learn to dance in the rain.
Right? That's good. Well, so don't plead the fifth.
Don't take the fifth all the time. Don't take the fifth all the time. And shout out to my queen who's watching the show anyhow. Thank you, Queen.
Yeah, that's a good quote. Dance in the rain. Ooh, I'm about to steal that.
Hey, when the storm comes in, don't run for shelter. Learn to dance in the rain.
Who told you that, Daddy? I'm saying I made that up.
Hey, she may have made it up. Who knows? Could be a.
Plead the fifth if you can't dance
I'll
in the
take
rain.
the fifth.
Take the fifth if you can't dance in the
But you know, the other thing is, yeah, when a moment comes along, you either define it or you let it define you.
Yep, that's true. Yeah.
So, hey, people, that's what we are here for, just to give you some information so you are able to define your life. We do our best.
Exercise and reward yourself, and maybe take the fifth if you have to.
If you have to, just take the fifth and say, I don't know. But until next week, we know that we gave you some information to squander around in your brain for a while, food for thought. And until next week, hey, Larry and I are out of here, man. Peace.